Peep This W.O.M, or should I say Peep This Word of Mouth. I'm here with season 4, and we got some things we're going to speak about. Damn, I saw on Instagram.
What happened now?
I saw on YouTube. I saw on TikTok.
I seen you too!
That was what happened.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Yo, Illuminati, baby. Illuminati.
If you do it shared, it's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Illuminati! Exactly, man. Trying to
I saw on these platforms that
Yeah.
we are moving
Yes, we
the
are.
needles.
We are.
And thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys for following us. Thank you guys for subscribing. Go check it out. We're at the 50 episode mark.
Yeah, we have 50 episodes now.
so
Thank you guys for watching.
that is
making this
fire.
For
possible.
rocking with us.
Over 2,000 subscribers.
Over.
TikTok got over 600.
Actually, we have more than 50 videos.
40K likes. That's really big.
Yeah.
40K.
I'm
A lot
39
of watch
them.
hours.
I'm 39 of them. That's how much I love this, guys. That's how much I love this.
39K.
39K.
Woo.
You 69, I heard.
Nah.
Heard you a 69 guy, buddy.
Ah, boy. But let's get this show rolling.
Get it on the road.
Let's go.
Oh, man. So what's going on, bros? What's the quote for today?
The quote for the day is, you don't have to have it all figured out before you move forward. Just take the first step. That's a quote by Harvey Specter Suits. I just want to see, what do you guys get from it? What do you guys take from it? Are you guys against it? You for it? You on the fence?
I'm for it. When I heard this quote, I'm thinking about a lot of people that, oh, I got this big old plan, yo. You about to see me, yo. I'm about to be shining, yo. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do this. I got this planned out, but they never do anything about it. They never execute. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about people that have all these big plans of grandeur, but they don't take any action into it. That's why I like your quote, because it's basically saying you don't have to have everything figured out. We didn't have everything with Peep This W.O.M figured out when we started.
We didn't.
That's so true.
I didn't have everything figured out with song structure when I started making music. I dang sure
With
didn't.
mixing and all of that.
I knew nothing. But all I knew was that if you give me the tools, I have the time to figure it out.
Right.
I didn't know how to get my music on streaming platforms, but I knew that it's there and I can find it. And this is before YouTube University. Thank God,
Right.
YouTube University. We love you.
Shout out to YouTube University.
Heck yeah. I'll say that, especially in the day and age of social media, and like, especially even in just in music, everybody thinks that they have to have everything perfect. I have to have the perfect cover art. I have to have the perfect performance. I have to have the perfect outfit, but they don't focus on just doing it and doing it well.
LL Cool J, shout out.
Doing it.
Not many. I think we aging ourselves. I don't know too many people know that one.
It's still popular.
Nah.
I
You
get
gotta
it.
know it. You gotta know it.
What
man.
about you
gotta know
guys?
For me, I would say this quote, what's powerful about it is, like you said, a lot of times people do create structure, but they never execute. So you always hear somebody say, man, I have a great idea, but they never take that idea and put some muscle behind it, put some effort. Because you don't need to have everything in perspective in order to start taking leaps. You should start to take some steps, even if it's, all right, now I have the idea. Let me look up some research to see how can I get it started. Now that I get it started, let me see what the next step of marketing or whatever that idea is, you know? Just like those people who be like, oh, when New Year's come, I'm going to lose weight.
I don't believe in New Year's
The
resolutions.
New Year's resolutions,
But-
oh Lord. The curse.
The whole thing is
You
cap.
shouldn't have to wait till New Year's. Just get started, even if it's just a little walk.
Yeah.
Little walk, little move. And then see where it goes from there.
I think it also could be in part that people just tie themselves up so much, they think too much of it. I think you even mentioned earlier when we spoke in the premeditated talks that people get caught into their own thought process. They get stuck in their head.
Yeah.
And it's fine if you don't have it all figured out. Just try and make the effort, put the step, take a chance, take the risk.
And that fear of the unknown, that's the issue.
It's always the fear of the unknown.
You're not gonna know until you try, right? To get something to be known, you have to first discover it, right? So yeah.
And it's funny. I also wanted to interject. There was a good friend of mine from the past beforehand. I'm not gonna say or mention any names, but
Oh, you a snitch, bro?
No, I don't do that, man. Cause you know why? It's Illuminati. No, I'm kidding. But he was saying, yeah, you can try and you can do something and you can still fail. Yeah. And you know what I said? I was like, well, at least I tried.
But you're always.
It is not guaranteed you'll be successful, but at least I made the effort to try.
Right.
That's all that matters. Even when sometimes I have to catch myself with negative self-talk when I was planning up and scheduling to get like shots of like my artworks and stuff, and I'm like, oh, He was like, no, man, you've done more people than what more people have done in their lifetime. Mm-hmm. You should speak life into yourself.
Yep, speak
You're
life.
making the steps necessary. You're getting the things ready. You're putting into motion. It may be slow. It's just no different like the story of the tortoise and the hare. The race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure. Mm-hmm. So even if you're going at your own pace, do it. But don't do nothing at all.
Why do you guys think that people feel like they have to have everything mapped out before they start?
When life is a little chaotic, or you have raised up in a chaotic thing, the little bit of things that you have control of, you want to hold on tight. So when you don't have control of not knowing what the next step is going to be for sure, like it makes your steps even feel like you have concrete on your feet when you're walking. So you don't want to take those necessary steps because you don't know. And if everything around you is chaotic, you don't want another chaotic event that you said, man, if I just kept my behind home, this wouldn't have happened. Or if I just said, let me wait till I had that couple dollars extra that I was always seeking to start this adventure, business move, I would have. So that's what it is. A lot of times is that the fear. It's always going to be fear. We as humans deal with a lot of fear. Sorry if I'm looking like that, but I'm thinking about it. We deal with a lot of fear.
It's an innate fear. It's not a primordial fear. I think it's more of a social fear. And then on top of it, it gets not magnetized. It gets what's the word? It gets magnified even more. Especially when you deal with, what do other people think?
Oh, you stole my answer. I was going to say that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, continue,
what do other people think? And I think that becomes a hindrance to most people. And it's like, well, you shouldn't really worry as much because, like the famous saying, like Jay-Z said, what you eat don't make me shit. And I think at the same time, while we are social creatures and we do pride ourselves in feeling important or, of value to someone else, at the same time, you shouldn't give a F.
Shouldn't.
But go ahead, if you want to elaborate, expound on that more.
You pretty much took, you took almost all my mojo, but it's all good.
Okay. It's all right. It's all love, bro.
You're saying that you guys said
it's a mental assist.
So I would say, right, if we can sum this all up.
Yeah.
Since you gave this beautiful quote, what would the summary be, my brother? How could you put this in a beautiful frame?
I think to put it in a beautiful frame, I think you just...
No. You gotta look over there.
Sorry. My bad. I gotta make love to this camera. I think to sum it all up is you just have to take... I know it's easier said than done, but you gotta take a shot in the dark and you have to at least try. You'll never know if you don't try. Even if you look silly. I never forget it. Prime example, we went to go support this guy for one of the events for his music things. And they were like, yo, come dance. And I was wearing all blue. I was coming from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, you was crippin'.
Yeah, they thought I was crippin' and stuff like that. I'm dancing, I'm doing, like some 1-2 step, try to get sturdy, and then, people like laughing and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I make a fool of myself, but like, what did you do? You in the crowd laughing at me. Did you take a chance? Did you take a risk? Take a shot, take a chance. Even if it's one baby step forward. That's it. That's how I summarize it. That's it.
Scared people don't make money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm also tired of with people not trying?
These nuts.
That's a good one. But I'm also tired of these people not trying to hit that like button.
Hit that like.
Not trying to write these comments on our video. And you're not trying to subscribe.
But they've been doing a good job, so, I'll applaud them for that.
Nah, I
They
need
have-
some more.
Yeah,
They
I need
say
some more, right?
I need some
No,
more. I need
we
some
do
more.
need more.
I need some more.
All right. Yeah, they
We
did
do need
all right,
more.
but we need more.
We need more.
Help us get to 3,000. That's
Yeah.
our next goal. Come on,
Yes,
help us get to 3,000.
3,000
Yes.
3,000 subscribers.
with over 3 million views.
Yes.
Right? Doable?
Yes.
When you do that, Dajonte will sing for you guys live.
Yes.
It'll be great.
I will.
He gon' fuck it up all night. Even though it's Maciah, so.
Hey. So, now I hand over
fucked
the
up, bro.
reins. I hand over the reins to Wise. Talk to us, bro.
What's good?
All right, so I got a social for you guys.
Okay.
This social is about getting jobs done, but not the kind that you probably like to do. So, can we bring in the first social about unsexy jobs?
Drum roll.
What do you do?
I'm a funeral director.
Oh. Are you actually?
Calm down, I'm not going to embalm you.
Nearly all the girls on Love is Blind UK clowned Freddie for being a funeral director because they didn't know the value of an unsexy job. And I get asked all the time, Vivian, if you're our rich BFF, you teach us finance, what is a good job that is secure and pays a lot? 10 years ago, I would have said study computer science and become a software engineer, but now I'd probably tell you to pick up a trade. First off, fewer people are going into trades, but demand's gonna stay the same, so companies are gonna have to pay more for experienced workers. 2, you won't graduate with $100 grand in student loan debt. And 3, in some cases, the median income for some of these jobs is over 6 figures. Not the top end, the median. And anecdotally, we recently hired some electricians to fix our lighting, and when we got to chatting, turns out they own their homes and cars, went on multiple vacations a year, and the majority of them could actually afford for their partners to stay at home. So these white-collar workers might turn their noses up at blue-collar work, but these skilled tradespeople might be the ones laughing all the way to the bank.
Speaking of laughing in everybody's
Yes.
face,
Speaking.
I want to ask you guys, why do you think people laugh in the face of these blue-collar workers? He said he was, I think, a more...
Funeral
Funeral
director.
Funeral director.
Funeral director.
Funeral
yeah.
director. I mean, people die every day. We need people that are going to take care of these bodies. Why would you even look down on
Listen, right off the rip, a coffin starting you at least 5 to 6K, and that's entry level coffin.
that? I think
Nah, entry level, you get a little cheaper. But still expensive, though.
Listen,
Like 2, 3 Gs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still expensive.
y'all
I
might
thought it was
start-
like at least 5.
Y'all might see some wise guy funeral homes in the future. Just letting you know. Just make sure y'all come to me for all your services.
Put it right next to a McDonald's,
Illuminati,
right?
baby.
Yo, just chill. I'm not trying to have Ronald McDonald come after us and shut us down prematurely.
He been out the scene for a while. You gonna make him
Nah,
come back?
listen, I'm loving it. Come on, don't come after me. I'm loving it. But why do you think that society looks down on some of these types of jobs? What's some guesses you guys
I'll
got?
give my
Go
take.
ahead,
I'll
bro.
give my take on it. I think the advent of social media,
Just social media?
I think that's a big part of it. I'm not saying all of it, but social media is a big part of it. Where we all know today that the real currency is internet. And with the internet, it's whose attention do you have and that you captivate. So it's only but fair they're gonna push forth the propaganda of what's aesthetically pleasing. And that's just my take on it. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't exude or show a certain lifestyle. It's just showing them living the lifestyle like, oh, I'm working as an everyday blue collar person. It's not showing like, oh, I'm on a yacht and I'm doing this kind of influencing, or I have this Bugatti or anything. It's not
But
showing
that's not the
that.
job itself. That's just showing.
It's not the job
That's
itself.
just showing what you
but
can
that's
afford.
what's being shown in people's faces. And if they're living that lifestyle, then it's like, oh, well, I want to do what they're doing. And are they saying that they are plumbers or electricians or funeral directors? No, they're saying that they're an influencer, they're a rapper, they're an entertainer. That's kind of my part of it.
No, it makes perfect sense where you're going with that. Social media has definitely played a big role. I know I said I wasn't going to do numbers, but let's
No,
let's
do
talk
numbers.
about-
You should do numbers.
Let's talk about from pre-war and post-war with work with what you call it, industrial jobs, factory
Industrial
jobs.
revolution.
jobs.
No, that was way in the 18. We were
Okay.
talking in the 19 when the war was
1900s.
happening, right? And then women had to now get into
Yes,
the
they
field.
had to get into the
but
workforce.
When you look at those jobs, they
Factory
were
going.
actually revered because they kept the economy going.
And they were stable.
And they were stable jobs. You didn't need a degree. And then later on, you can get a $100,000 job working at some of these factories without a degree.
Yeah.
But like
Any
you
form of
said,
education.
social media came in and made these jobs so undesirable, right? And I think also help push some of these jobs out of here, right? But when you look at the video, she's right. Like, most people now don't want to hear that you're a sanitation. What's not even worker. They have a
worker.
sanitation, I forgot the word, but it's like engineer, right? They help and they do all these things for our garbage and our waste. But they make almost $100,000 in Westchester.
What about people that work in sewage treatment or water treatment?
Sewage treatment, coal mines, 86,000, right?
People that work on oil rigs.
Oil rigs.
I would never want to do that.
Well, the thing is also with these jobs, you have to factor in the high risk.
Some of them do
And
have
let's be honest,
Roughnecks.
who's taking these jobs?
Right.
Men.
But the sad thing is now some men are now gonna look to, do I get a job that's gonna pay, or do I get a job that's more prestigious, right?
That does
Because now
happen,
it's like you're a doctor, but we talked about a doctor in what? Some doctors are revered more than others.
Of course.
You're a blood doctor.
You own a business. What is your business? Some people are looking at the person who owns a Dunkin' Donuts less value
Franchisee.
than somebody who owns a 5-star restaurant.
But they
But let's
still own their
talk
own
about- yeah.
business.
Go ahead, bro. Sorry, I took a little
No,
time.
no, 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 no.
And just a quick interjection.
Yeah.
I think people really get skewed when in their perspective, they don't know what true wealth is. I don't think they know the reality or
Well, what
the
is true
worth
wealth,
of
Yeah,
true
what
wealth.
is true-
What is
I
true
think
wealth?
the true wealth is having freedom. Having freedom to do the things you want to do.
Right.
And whatever can allot you to do that, then that's true wealth in my eyes, in my opinion.
So
If you can
financial
own, financial freedom is a big part of it, but also doing the things that you love and that you respect and that you have passion. Some of the greatest directors, some of the greatest artists in this world, they are passionate about what they do. Yes, while they are motivated by the money at the same time, they're passionate about their craft. So they hone into it and they pour into it because it's their calling, it's their purpose. But if I'm a person who owns Dunkin' Donuts and all my bills is paid for and met, and I have more extra on the side, then how I'm not already a rich man? I'm already a rich man. I don't need to make an exorbitant amount of money. I'm already rich.
I want to hear your point before you bring out the next question. I know you got more for us.
All I'll just basically say is that, well, first of all, I think that these thoughts have been happening before social media, because even as back in the 90s, I remember a lot of these jobs not being very desirable. I mean, even I've said on the podcast before, I think the name plumber just sounds it sounds dirty. It sounds undesirable.
So what you want to call it, pipe technician?
I'll definitely say one thing that when it comes to the name plumber, I think that just the name alone is one of the things that turns people off. I think that one of the names that could be used as an irrigationist or a waste treatment person, or waste treatment technician, whatever you want to call it. But names do matter too. And then also, I don't know why, even just since the 90s, certain jobs, maybe it's before we were born, they're just not seen as sexy. To your point with the doctor, it's like, oh, you're a doctor. But you want your child to be a doctor and accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars of wealth, in loans that they may not be able to pay back. They may be in the middle of med school and just be like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I was pushed to do this, but I'm not even interested in it. I want to be a carpenter. I want to be like Jesus. I want to build homes. What are you laughing for,
Why you
bro?
had to say it like that?
No, that's not a shot at Jesus.
Why you had to look at Maciah like that? So
Because Jesus will. Vengeance is his, says the Lord. Let's just leave it at that. Not
Move on to
mine.
the next one. Move on to the next one.
But can I interject?
Go ahead.
No, move on to the next. I'm so
Let's
sorry.
move on.
Let's move on.
So what do you think are some
Next question.
positives and negatives of trade jobs? I'll start.
Yeah.
One positive, obviously, is that you know exactly what type of job you want to do, and you can make a lot more money nowadays, as Vivian said. You don't have to graduate with $100,000 in student loan debt. One major negative, though, is that depending on your trade, if you're not in a city or location where that trade is needed, you may be selling yourself
you
up
already stole it out of my thing. Yeah.
But listen,
You got a good one going.
Hey, we get back to back.
Back to back. It's only but fair, baby.
I would say, listen, there is no negatives to trades. Right? In the next 10 years, the aging population that are once doing this, the plumbers, the electricians,
They'll be gone.
they are slowly heading to retirement age. Their jobs are going to need to be filled. So let me give you a little synopsis. If you are looking to be a plumber, and let's say there's none in yours, what would I tell you to do? Move. Why are people so afraid to go move?
For a job opportunity.
Go get your job. Go get your money. Because plumbers is going to be needed. Electricians, carpenters are going to be
Carpenters,
needed.
Welders.
Welders are going to be needed. My cousin, who's a welder, you met him before, Secure Welding. He makes over $150,000 a year. Went to jail. Came out of jail, learned that trade in jail. Then finished up some more studies on that trade, and now he's making more money than people with degrees. More money than people with degrees. The next 10 years, I'm telling you, a lot of these trades that we laughed at, will be like, are going to be making the 60, 70, 80, 100, up to how many if you go privately, if you go join a fellowship, those who can help you give you apprenticeships, or you join somebody else and then branch off. Think about that. Another thing is, don't be afraid. Once you get your trade, buy another trade owner's business as they get older. Think about it. He's retiring. He might sell his business. He had a brand with a AAA rating on the Better Business Bureau. Why not? Why not go for that?
And then you can also, too, in turn, you can hire that guy to give him and to pass down that knowledge onto you.
And onto the other people working for you. Like, we're all in this business of working hard, smarter, not harder. So if you can also hire other people who are giving and give them apprenticeships that they can branch out. Listen, there's a lot of money in trades.
I think
a funeral director, he said it best.
Listen, I'll be a mortician.
They are dying every day.
People dying left and right, man.
every day.
That's the best kind of job right there. You are never out of business.
Listen, if you're doing that type of job, people die every day. All you hear is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You be going in the hospitals like, anybody die yet?
Motion again, bro.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Hey, making money.
Listen, man, yo, you got. Don't be mad at me. I'm a capitalist. I was born in the United States of America, and that's just how people look at things. That's just the reality.
I know we can't do it anymore,
Oh, God.
but we making certain types of money.
No,
That was
Don't be getting canceled. We gonna move on to the next question.
Next question.
Next question.
If you guys had a choice, what trade would you guys do? I mean, for me personally, I would definitely be interested in doing an electrician job, or especially carpentry. I've always been interested in working with wood and building things ever since high school. But I don't know if this is stupid. Yeah,
I'm just joking, guys.
He didn't say no, no Diddy.
Listen, I'm comfortable in my sexuality. Rainbow
That's
hearts
good.
all day.
That's good.
Rainbow hearts.
That's good.
I'm loving
Rainbow
it.
hearts.
But specifically, one thing that I would definitely want to do, because I think I don't know if you need school training or trade for this. I would want to do interior designing. I think interior design is a perfect mix of artistry, mathematics, and science. So that's just me. What you guys?
What about you, bro?
He don't know. He wrong.
I know. I did have one.
I would have to say welding. I enjoy welding. Probably though, I think I would probably go as far as to say maybe even underwater welding for like a short bit of my life. Not too long though. Not too long.
That's I would cash. Dajonte was a fish.
Cash in and cash out. Oh,
Yes! Yo! Come on, you set yourself up. DJ by Randy got his mark right now.
This video was a fish. Underwater welding.
Man, say he want to live with Sebastian.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Y'all got that. You got that.
Hey, yo! It is just certified. And solidified.
Shut the Ross fire up.
You know what, guys? Let me just tell you what I
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tell you your trade.
Hey, yo.
Speak your truth, brother.
Hey, it's all right, bro.
Yo, it's a good trade. It's a good trade. It don't got nothing to do with fishes at all.
Yes,
You sleeping with them.
Yeah, but I ain't no fish.
I would definitely deal with the funeral director. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't do mortician now. Mortician is different. The actual dead body. But I would actually be the one to facilitate the family, go pick up the dead body. Now we can sit down and plan out how you want, have the connections and tell you what colors does he like, the themes, or plan out your whole film, make it beautiful. You know, and I'll be reasonable, you know.
No,
I wouldn't
Maciah
just-
fronting.
I wouldn't go after like, yo, get the most expensive.
yes, you would.
Let's work with your
He's like,
budget.
he would have really wanted you to.
I'll be
though.
like,
Now I know about that.
I will have a scale. You could have the EBT version, or you can have the real extravagant horse and carriage version.
Is the EBT version just throw them in a
Okay.
cardboard box and put them in the
No,
ground?
we have nice wooden boxes that you would have made it, right? That you would
Right.
have made.
Interior
nice,
designing.
we'll
Keep
paint
it in the family.
nice,
Yo,
keep it in the family, right? And then if you want to be very near water, we talk to the fishermen.
Yo, bro.
No,
man.
but that's the job that I would do. I would definitely.
And then lastly, what careers do you think we need less of in the world to replace so that trades can replace these? What you guys think we gotta get rid of?
You know what's
Lord.
funny? Just before we go on with that, you just saying, you did say that, you know, we need less of influencers
We do.
and stuff. That's what we do. You try to say we
After
should stop.
us.
We just like, only us are influencers, no one else.
Yo, close the door behind you. What's wrong with you? You're letting all the heat out.
Oh, man.
I like that one.
Come on, man. Close the door behind you. What's wrong with you? It's
I
winter.
like that. All right.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
thought
we
you
need-
was trying to renege, bro.
No, hell no. We need less influencers. Everybody wants to be on social media. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody wants to be popular for nothing and not contribute to society.
So is that your point? That's the one that you're
That's
using?
pretty
That's
much
how I-
his driving point.
That's my driving point. I
So
truly
that's
feel
the
it.
one that we should.
That's how I feel. I think we need
Okay.
less social media influencers. We need less influencers, period. That's why we got all these goddamn commercials on these streaming sites now. Because all these influencers trying to make a buck on an advertisement. Except for Peep This W.O.M. Watch all our ads.
Yes.
Yo, I'm selling out. I'm not ashamed.
It's crazy though.
What about you
Like
guys?
you're one of them, and you're trying to say you don't want. Yo, why should they watch us then?
Because I'm a hypocrite like
Listen,
you. I
watch
relate.
it. Watch it because of me and Dajonte. Since this young and no more influencers.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
Why you doing that to us, dogs? You trying to throw
Yo,
us
you
under
put your
there.
foot in your
no,
mouth.
I'm trying to get you rich. I'm not trying to throw
We
you in the
trying
ocean.
Oh, I like that one too.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, you made it too easy.
Yo.
Continue, guys. I'm still in it.
No,
Come on, go,
that
go,
was
go, go.
good. That was good. No, you're right though. All jokes aside, I'm joking, but you also.
What do we need less of? Seriously.
You could come back to me.
Yo, I feel like I'm gonna get canceled.
Oh, here
Well,
we go. Come on.
I feel
Come
like
on. Come on.
everyone's gonna say this fat, unapologetic, lazy.
Just say what you guys say.
Say it, just say it.
Oh my lord, I'm gonna say it. We need a less adult entertainment artists. I know.
And that's it.
Yo, why would you say that, man? Now we gonna get our
That's interesting. Why you say that, though?
they gonna cancel us now. Now we're not gonna get the OnlyFans sponsorship.
All right, you know what? Let's renege that.
Nah,
I think that's
it's
a
all
really
right.
rough one.
No,
Do you
seriously,
think-
seriously.
Do you think it's just too much saturation?
It already is.
If I'm being honest, it's oversaturated. It's a lot of poor quality. No, for real.
No, I
For real.
agree.
Like everyone thinks that they the MJ this using an iPhone.
Nah.
They trying to capitalize because they see one person do amateur this way and they're horrible at it. You ever seen? Not that I watch often because it's not my thing, but the few that I've ever seen, there was some amateur was like the camera just. And I'm like, yo,
He trying to focus,
Keep
bro.
it steady.
like keep it like why are
I'm
you
losing
even doing
circulation.
this? And then these guys who have no sense, they would dislike it, but yet they're watching the whole video probably. You see what I'm saying? So what's the point of you even liking or disliking a video? What? So I get it. So it doesn't show up again, but you already watched it. It probably like, oh, the shaking. But they need to stop. I think you have a set few. And
That are good at it.
yeah, treat it like the NBA or the WNBA.
Yeah.
Have a good
Especially
roster. Got a couple
Yeah.
people that's really good at it. Then
Man.
you have a draft system.
Is there a reason why you said treat it like the WNBA? Should we be digging
Oh,
into
Lord.
that?
No. Meaning like you see how they have only a certain. Not everyone can play about. Like me and Dajonte could go hoop. We're not NBA players. We're not even college players.
Mm-hmm.
We're no even longer high school. Why try to meddle at this like, oh, let's go play some former NBA players? No. Right?
Fair enough.
Like,
I don't want to beat it down.
all right,
it-
maybe
yeah.
No, I don't
maybe
disagree.
we'll
I don't
scrap
disagree.
this one, but
I don't
that's
disagree
just
with it.
how I feel.
I mean,
disagree
ain't
with
nothing
it.
wrong with that. I think what we go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think what we need less of too is reality TV shows.
You win that one, hands down.
I mean,
you
listen,
win.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but whenever I do chill and spend time with my bubby, that's my grandmother, and I flip through the channels, I be like, how did this person get a reality TV show? Like, anyone can get a reality TV show. It's on par with the OF thing. Like, we need less of that. It's crazy. Why? We should have one.
Yeah, look
Because
at
we're entertaining.
You mentioned the OF, right?
Yeah.
You feel okay with yourself, guy or girl? You did all this work, and you only get $100 or $25 a month, and your name is going to be underneath. Like, it's not a. More power to those who do it efficiently and do it well, but it's not a job that everyone think they could just join and be. It's not like that. Just like
You
boxing.
said a what?
A job where you could just join and be a part of it and think you're gonna do something great in there, right? It's not even a shooter's chance. Like, you really
Gotta be good.
good and lucky.
Got to be entertaining.
So I think you can get rid of that. You can get rid of it.
It's the bottom line.
And look at it. You got your life you're playing with. Because people who like, oh, look at my record, and the record is BS, and you catch something like that video we were
We were just
talking about.
earlier. Won't say their names, but
Yeah, she went on the internet talking about this guy gave her this STD because she wanted to come up, she wanted to make some money. He had like millions of followers, and look what happened. Didn't get tested. Chuck took his word. We allegedly, we don't know, but I ain't mention no names. So all right, go ahead.
What about you? What do you think we need less of?
He said influencers.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
influencers. We need
okay.
less social media influencers. But that's pretty much it. All I'll say is stop looking down on these blue collar jobs. Stop looking down on tradesmen and tradeswomen, and stop looking down on plumbers. Cause when the shit hits the fan, who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters?
Come on, you ruined my. Come on, you know that was a fire one. That was a fire one. Come
But you
on.
was gonna say Plum Busters?
No, that was I was being punny about it.
Oh.
It's all good. What about you, Dajonte? You ready for your part?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready right now.
What you got for us, Captain?
So, pretty much, in this day and age, you know, people are using their platforms to advocate and shine things to light. But I shared this with the group, and they were kind of a little bit on the fence with it, and we kind of want to delve into it a little bit more. But I just found interesting what her point was to be, so I think we should delve into a little bit more. So, without further ado, go roll the clip.
Does anybody else find it a bit nutty that one could say the industry is full of abusers and be talking about any industry? I'm talking music, movies, and entertainment, law enforcement, medical, the nonprofit world. It's like the higher up you go in the social hierarchy, the more likely you are to encounter sociopaths. And for the people who greenly want to make a name for yourself in whatever industry you're in, you got to ask yourself who you're willing to be dominated and dehumanized by, as well as who you're willing to dominate and dehumanize. Because I don't think that industry and empire can be separated from the culture of violence that we live in, not when they all run on competition and the exploitation of people, not when the acquisition and maintenance of power within capitalism and the social hierarchy as we know it requires exploitation and is intrinsically corrupt.
So, with that being said, especially with the climate of what's been going on around with a certain particular person and stuff like that, how do you guys feel? Do you feel the higher up that you climb, you think you're gonna do things that's gonna kind of mess with your moral compass?
First things first, I'll say is that she said the higher up you go, there's more sociopaths. First of all, what is a sociopath? A sociopath is somebody defined as having mental health with disregard for other people. I wouldn't clinically diagnose people higher up as sociopaths because, haven't we talked about this before? The more people get money and power, the less regard they have for other people, because to accumulate that much money and power, you have to have less regard for people and their well-being. That's just what comes with the game. That's just how it is naturally. Can we clinically diagnose somebody as a sociopath just because they had to disregard so many people to make that much money? I'm just saying that just because I don't like... I'm not trying to dunk on Sister Soldier right here. Like, she's not wrong with what she's saying per se. I don't disagree with what she's saying.
You're saying that she shouldn't be diagnosing people.
Yeah, like, come on, like, I don't, like, let's be careful about a psychological speak. That's what I want to say about
Sociopath is a very hard word.
Yeah,
It's
like,
very, very hard. Let's just say they're crappy people.
yeah, we could just say people are bad
evil.
people.
But sociopath.
Isn't
not only do you-
sociopath a
only-
form of
only-
evil?
Only,
No.
not only do you have to be clinically diagnosed, you know how hard that is for you to be a sociopath? You have to follow a lot of boxes
Yeah,
before they
it's like-
consider that. And it's like you have no emotions, no regard of other people's feelings. And maybe when you go up these ladders, they do understand your feelings, they just don't care about it. It's a difference between you can't understand, meaning like I'm gonna do me regardless because I can't empathize. I don't have any reasons to, rather
Or
than I
emotional
know
intelligence.
how to, but I choose not to. You see what I'm saying?
And then to your point,
That's sociopath versus
and then to your point, we live
rough
in,
draft. What I'm saying.
we live in the United States of America. Most people in the United States believe in capitalism. And to be a capitalist means that you play the market. Sometimes that means doing things that may be in your capitalistic interest, but not in the interest of somebody socially, economically, psychologically, or emotionally. So you can't pick to be a capitalist now, but then like, basically what I'm saying is that, are you gonna be a capitalist with a heart or are you gonna be a capitalist? Some people can do both.
You can.
I like
do both.
how you put it. I like how you framed it right
You
there.
can definitely do both.
Some people can do most people can do both.
It's. I'll say some.
But the higher up you
I
go,
don't think most can.
I don't think most.
some.
Some can, and I think to go with your point is how much money do you want and how much power? Because some people can balance to say, I got a couple million and I'm good.
Well, it's not even necessarily that. It's what are you willing to do?
she said
What
that.
are you willing to not only do, but what are you willing to have happen to you too?
If I were to tell you that in order to make $200 million, to get that much money, there are a lot of things that you will have to do that you don't like. And some of them may be hurting people, firing people, letting people go, disregarding people's well-being. If I told you that is what it takes in this world to make that much money, not because you have not because like the Illuminati's doing nothing, but it's just like, no, that's how business works. Would you do it? To get $200 million. Tell me somebody that says, no, they wouldn't do it. And are you going to call that person a sociopath? That's just how business is. That's how capitalism works. That's how all of this stuff works. That's how society works.
And let's just be honest, 100% transparency in this video, right? This is off of Instagram.
Yes, that's
Right.
off of Instagram, a platform.
She is following the platform's guidelines and regulations. All of us have to follow and abide,
Yep.
even if you're making some kind of money. Yes, the higher you go up, the more famous she becomes on Instagram, the more she has to be careful of what she says.
Yep.
And because things are going to be attacked. So it's funny. It's what she's saying is 100% facts.
She's accurate.
But it goes across all spectrums. So what are we gonna do? Just gonna not try to elevate? You just have to know within yourself how far you're willing to go, and say
what
no.
will you
and say no.
compromise?
We joke around, but let's be real. If I was at a Diddy party,
Somebody
No
getting
Diddy, no
sacrificed.
Diddy, no Diddy.
no.
Nah,
being,
this-
no,
No,
I'm
no,
being,
not joking. Like,
I'm being
there's no
one-
sacrifice with Diddy, it's
I'm
just-
being 100%. If I saw anything, now we don't know if he do. This is all allegations.
allegedly.
Allegedly, all allegations. Not saying anything. But if you see something and you don't want to be a part of it, what do?
Turn a blind eye.
You leave.
You leave. Not even
You
turn a
leave.
blind
Like,
eye.
you
You
know
leave.
what? I'm cool on
Because you know
this.
what that circle entails.
I'm cool on this, and if you never get invited again, you understand your pecking level of how far you want to go.
But then I could still challenge you that that's not the moral decision, because basically what you're saying is, I see no evil, I hear no evil. Is it your moral job to report it?
No, he's not saying that he doesn't see no evil at all. It's
No,
just
not him personally. I'm saying that's how people will.
I would say this: it's not everything is meant for somebody else to say. You would, in a perfect world, you would want, if you saw somebody, like let's say we saw a crime, You want to, hey, don't do that. I'm calling 911.
That's true.
A lot of times what you might do is
Bystander
call
effect.
from the sideline far away. You're not going to interrupt that, right? Or you might not even want to get involved because you don't want whatever's happening to them
To happen to you. Or your loved ones or family
or your
and
loved
friends.
ones or family. So sometimes, like, if we all hear somebody getting kidnapped and we're in hiding, right? Or you can blur that out for me, right? And you're in hiding, they capture me, and you guys are you want me to turn around and be like, yo, check the closet, yo, Dajonte and Wise. Sometimes, no, sometimes you just shut up, let things go, and move on. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's not our obligation to call everything out.
I agree.
It's not our obligation to tell people who we voting for, right? All right.
I'm a staunch believer in
Yeah,
that.
I'm just saying.
And it's funny because, you know, I'm not trying to say like I'm pointing something in someone's eye or whatever, but I'm very well sure that that phone she's using for her content is an iPhone, which
Made in
is
sweatshops. The cobalt mines and
mined
stuff.
from the cobalt mines.
Yeah.
Where kids is making less than a few cents a day,
Or the
and that
people-
are dying underneath horrible, underneath stress and duress and piss poor conditions at the same time.
In China, they have a working condition called 996. Okay. From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 hours a day. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 hours, 6 days a week.
Oh, I was like, the
Nine-
math is not math.
Yeah,
and
it's
Yeah,
not
random.
but listen.
I was like, I thought you liked math.
Listen, that's how much is killing me. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 hours a day. Now, if people in these factories are putting together
6 days a week.
6 days a week. Okay. If they're putting these things together like that, 9 to 9, 6 days a week, but here you are on your phone talking about social justice, right and wrong, and this is not a knock at her per se, but it's just that I don't like it when people try to get on social media and virtue signal without knowing the full scope about what they're talking about and how they actually participate
In it.
in it. I've said numerous times about coffee slavery. You don't want to know how much of your coffee comes from slavery. You don't want to know about how much of your chocolate comes from slavery. You don't want to know about how much of your jewelry actually comes from slavery.
Yep.
You don't want to know about how your fruits and your vegetables are grown by child labor in the United States. So what are we really doing with this? Like, what is her point with these types of things?
I would just challenge you in the fact of we don't have to fight every social battle.
You can't fight every social battle.
So as far as going to the far of the phone, yeah, I get it, but can't fight everything.
But to her point is that if it's in one industry, it's in all these industries.
It is. It's
is.
in
So-
anything that we work in.
There's-
You
there's-
could be at McDonald's being the lead manager, whatever they call it. Another person wants to come in. You're now up now. You made it to regional manager, right? You're doing whatever you're doing. Franchise, you're doing good. This person coming, you have more power than a lot of people. So you could be like, oh, girl, do this. You could get a little promotion. You could be shift manager.
Happens every day.
And that's what I said. In the
Happens every day.
simplest job, the simplest job, it happens. The same coal mining or waste management, it happens in every field, down to freaking churches, other temples,
Yep.
religion, other different
Yes,
religions.
yes.
You're
There's always
talking
Education.
We're talking Christian, Yoruba,
there's always
Jewish. It goes all the way through. There's always going to be some kind of
corruption.
corruption happening.
So then, to the question that I asked
Yeah.
before, is it an industry thing or is it a people thing?
It
It's
is
a people thing.
It's always been.
then what we doing here?
It's a people thing, but at the same time, the industry does glamorize it a lot, which I feel like, I think most people, I would like to believe, I don't know if you guys believe it, most people are good. But I think after, and you didn't bring this up, I think usually when people get acquisition of power, you begin to see their true colors. You begin to see their true character in times when they're given a display of power. Well, now what am I going to do with it? And
You can't have power and not use it.
yeah, you can use it. It's how you use it. And I do think, yes, it's a human flaw. I think as much as we are capable of good, we're also capable of doing evil and being corrupted. We can be corrupted. It's just like the Dark Knight. I had my ace in the hole, Harvey Dent. You think I was gonna lose this fight with you to the city of Gotham in a fist fight? No. Harvey Dent was my ace in the hole. I can show you that even the goodest of people can be corrupted.
All it takes is a little bit of power.
All it takes is a little push, like he said, a little bit of power.
And that's what the power is, because the power puts you on stage and it says, okay, I'm going to give you a choice. You can do any one of these. And if you do that over there, you won't have any repercussions. Will you exercise that? And most people say, nobody's watching me. I can get away.
Yep. Let me see what I can manipulate to my own benefit and what I can get out of it.
And that's why I bring the question of, I get what she's saying, and I understand that
I get it too.
She's trying to bring some sort of light to it, but it's also, I still feel that, yeah, we all know this, but what you trying to say?
What we trying to,
What we trying to do about this?
Most importantly, what can we do about it? And it's a battle that's gonna be ongoing until the end of time.
You can't really do nothing about it, though. That's the sad thing. In a lot of these fields, you can.
A lot you can.
I think it's not that you can't do anything about it. I think the only thing you can do is the simplest thing, as redundant and cliche as it sounds, you can only do your part.
Yeah.
You vocalizing it, saying it, okay, cool, fine. But backing up to what Wise Guy said. What are you doing? What's the change you're implementing? When you get the power, how do you use the power?
And the thing is now, if you are being you and not willing to change and sacrifice to gain this power, you will never be able to influence the people because they will never give you that power. People tend to want like mind, even if we're not
That's true.
one accord. I take this for example.
People are cliquey.
Trump and Putin may not see eye to eye,
Oh, they got the same agenda.
but all right, you see what I'm saying?
Acquire power.
And I'm not saying that they're working together, sleeping in the same bed, but those two men, if a discussion needs to be happen, it can happen because they're like-minded.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They have the same goal.
Now, if you had the country Wakanda, let's just use that hypothetically, and you've been promoting peace, you think you can be able to speak to Putin?
No. Because we have two
The
different
only way
philosophies.
you'll be able to speak to Putin now, if you were some kind of political threat, you made enough noise,
Or political partner.
or a political partner,
An ally.
an ally. It's either threat or ally. Most times when you try to be like Gandhi, even though I don't like the man, you try to be like Gandhi, you try to be like Martin Luther King, you try to be like these people, they're gonna murder you. It's just real facts, right? Because you're going against the grain.
You're going against the status
So you
quo.
could speak about it, and they will make some changes, just enough changes. And I know this sounds a little
No.
conspiracy
I give you-
theorist
No, it ain't conspiracy
theory,
theories.
But the more power you have, that's why you can never have, like, if for people like us, be content with the power that you kind of have. So if
That's
you
what
get
happens
to
a
a
lot.
certain level, be happy and stay there and shut up. If you see something,
Shut your mouth.
move away from it, don't associate, because you see what happens. You get up there too much and spotlight hits you. Everyone takes a turn. Everyone takes a turn of falling.
Yep. Rome
you-
didn't last forever.
Right. And so that's why I say we got to be very mindful, because you and me, you know, and Wise could want to do so much change. We have done a backpack drive. We have fed the community. Let's say we wanted to end hunger in the United States, and we try to come and push back against all these people selling high stuff.
There's no money in trying to feed everybody in the world. That's why it won't happen. There's
Exactly.
no money in it.
Eventually, they will be like, "Oh, you're coming against us." Eventually, you start seeing your own skeletons come out, and you wondering how did this happen.
Well,
That's a whole nother
I'll
thing.
say
but yeah.
this.
I think that would be another great topic that we can have for sure.
I'll say this, with the acquisition of power, what I think people tend to forget is that people want to acquire power so that other people don't have as much power over them.
That's what it is.
I think that's speaking for us, for people like us.
No, I think it's human beings in general, because when there's people that can control you and make you do things, it makes you feel uncomfortable. So it becomes sort of like, I have to get them before they can get me. I have to protect myself before they have the chance to do something to me.
Defense of the ego.
And then in the middle of having and gaining that power, you wind up becoming the monster
That you are against.
that you were running away from.
Genghis Khan. That's all I have to say. Look at his history. You'll see. You see, after you gain so much power, it changes your whole
You
perspective.
know, it's funny. I fell off that show. I need to get revisited back
And
again.
when you change your whole perspective, even down to his death, he was so afraid people will find out his grave. The soldiers had to kill the other soldiers, which had to kill the other soldiers, which had to kill the soldiers,
heard.
and then have to fall on their own swords and kill themselves. So I'm just saying, when you get enough power, and you taste that power sometimes, that venomous power, it could change. And the funny thing I will say real quick is, it doesn't even change. You know, people say, you say it brings out the realness in you. I say different. You could have been a real, authentic, loving person until you tasted power.
You didn't know I'll argue that you didn't know who you really were until you had the chance to be that person.
I think too at the same time, I was thinking of it too. You know, someone who's very influential told me something about it. He was like, yeah, you know, like power is good and all for certain things, but certain things is just not for me. And he was like, you have to know when to say, like how he was saying earlier, I'm at here and I see this, and that's not me, right? I think even before, as a precursor, you should know who you are, what you stand for, and to know that if that's what that power is going to lead me to do and bring me into something that I am not, and it's not aligned with who I am, you should know that already. I think that should be the simple, clear-cut answer. And that's my response to her, really, though, because it's like, at the same time, well, people are going to make decisions and choices. If it aligns with them, it aligns with them. If not, I know certain things I'm never going to put my hands into. That ain't me.
So, and I get it. There's certain acts that you wouldn't put yourself in, right?
Yeah.
Or certain
Or do
rules,
certain things to
do
get certain things, yeah.
But what about the analogy? A baby doesn't know that it can walk until after crawling for a little bit and trying to walk, right? So the same kind of thing, until you have access to that power. It's easier to say these things now until. I'm not saying now the compromise of your moral compass, like you won't give up certain parts of you to gain power. But if power came to you and somebody said, you know what, Dajonte, we really like what you're doing for Peep This W.O.M. And we like that you have this whole quota thing down, right? And you're signing and stuff. We want to infiltrate the ASL community, right? And we want you to do this. And this is what we're going to offer for our message to be preached. Now, you in your own way, you'd be like, that's not for me, until you taste it. I'm not saying you will change. I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people.
Well, that's different.
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
different. I'm talking about this different.
But that's how evil becomes.
But that's
because it starts with a tip, a taste.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Yes.
To your point.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
To your point.
Yeah.
When you have slaves and you put one slave in charge of all the slaves, you give them that small power, they think they're all powerful, and that's just pretty
And
much.
start acting like the slave master.
You know, it's funny. To add to that, remember the spider Nancy, the guy who played him? He didn't play that role anymore. Right after that, he got really too much into the role, and
it happens.
They're like, oh, shh, you can't have that now.
You forget what you.
Can't have that now.
You run away from something so much you don't even recognize you run right into it.
So that's the only thing I'm saying, is that sometimes, even with this, the more higher you go, is the more crazy things you see. More crazy things you see is now you have to deal with like what you say, your moral compass.
But there's different types. There's different types. But I do get your sentiment though about the taste. But there are different types. I think this was a great discussion, guys.
I'll leave it at that. I don't want to do any more. I'm good. You?
I'm good.
So, guys, thank you for joining us on this serious conversation that we had today. We didn't have much jokes. We had a little bit here and there. But we are glad that you are still rocking with us here, joining us on the advent of season 4. And just to know, just tying it all the way back to the beginning with the quote of the day, don't get so stuck inside of your thoughts. Don't get so stuck inside of your head. And make that chance. Make that decision. Take that shot. Try. Don't always think, do. Don't be the thinker, be the doer. Try to do your best in that. Not only that, and with the ending as well, with power and the acquisition from power, you have to know yourself. You have to know how you want to navigate and the decisions you want to make and the person you want to become down the line. So always keep that in mind. Keep that always at the forefront. We thank you guys for rocking with us. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit it, murder it, do it. And my name's Dajonte, your fellow co-host. We hope you guys have a great night, and until next time, we'll see you soon.